Absolute Batman continues a major trend: Batman losing. In this issue, Batman faces another major death, meets more villains, and even has Gotham flipped against him. And yes, Scarecrow got introduced and we finally got an answer about the Absolute Robins, so strap in. Once again, we have another issue that gives us an equal splash of questions and answers. One of the things that's been lingering for a few issues was Deathstroke's involvement in Jack Grimm's plan, aka the Joker. We also catch mention of Gordon's knowledge of Martha Wayne, we get to see a little bit of Harley Quinn and the Red Hoods working with Batman, and at the end we get an idea of how the Robins will work in this universe, and who they are, which is Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, and Duke Thomas. I can't wait to see what's next for these characters. Welcome to the Absolute Bat. Before we break this thing down, make sure you're subscribed to stay up to date on all things Batman. I'm doing a giveaway for a Batman graphic novel at 1,000 subscribers, but hold on. I'll sweeten the pot just a little bit. If this video makes a big effort on getting me these last 300 subscribers, I'll give away an issue of Absolute Batman signed by Scott Snyder. I'm going to see him next month to get some books signed, so why not? Stick around till the end to figure out how to enter the giveaway. Back to the issue. Spoilers ahead. So we start out with Scarecrow, and this explains the title of this issue, The Straw Man. And through this first impression, we get an idea of the methods used by this version of the character. The opening of the book shows two farmers working in their cornfield. The two men are startled as Scarecrow exits the cornfield humming. Right off the bat, I thought putting Scarecrow in a cornfield was something we honestly don't get to see enough. And to go even further, they have crows follow him, and this is an amazing touch to his creep factor. Our farmers end up clowning on Scarecrow for his appearance, and he responds with a shocking line. "Gentlemen, come on now, we're all friends here, am I right? Heck, you guys have been friends for more than 30 years, and Buck, that's despite the fact that Vern is your wife, Luann." The two men begin to chalk this up as a way to rile them up, but then Buck receives a video on the phone of Vern sneaking out of his bedroom window. He explodes. The rage caused by his fear of his wife's betrayal causes him to lash out and brutally murder his best friend with the Combine. As Buck starts to realize what he's done, a crop duster plane flies down and hits the Combine, presumably killing Buck as well, and Scarecrow just walks off. Then we move to the hero of our story, and his actions are narrated by Alfred. Batman flees the cops in his new Bat vehicle, the Bat Gyro, or the Bat Nasty as Harley Quinn and her friends call it. As Batman flees and shows off the flexibility of his new ride, Alfred talks about how Batman has isolated his personal life to pretty much nothing, and has been on a Batman tear for weeks now. He worries that going at it alone and pushing everyone away would typically tear someone down, but thinks if anyone can figure out how to do this, it's him. And at this time, we see Batman jump out of the Bat Gyro in an alleyway, and he lets the Red Hoods dismantle it and throw it into the back of a van like a NASCAR pit crew. And then they give him baggy clothes, and he points to lead the cops to Batman, who is nowhere to be found. I thought this was such a slick moment. He makes his way to work, and then we get something that almost made me jump out of my seat in pure joy when I saw it. Waylon is back. Well, semi-back. He is back to the shape of a human, but still holds the appearance of a croc. Bruce gives him a huge hug and expresses he's glad Waylon is returning to normal. Waylon says the artifact Batman and Wonder Woman retrieved has been bringing him back, and then Bruce asks what the plan is. Waylon wants to join Bruce and take down the people who did this to him, but Bruce sticks to his decision. He is not bringing his friends into the Batman world. Waylon begs him to see things differently, but Bruce just tells him he loves him and to take care of himself. I thought this was a heartbreaking moment, and I question why Bruce feels more comfortable working with people like Harley and Alfred. I'm like, come on, man. Out of all of them, we need Waylon on our side. But then we get a crucial flashback, and this happens to be a continuation from issue 14's story that followed Waylon as a boxer and Bruce as his trainer. Bruce has played with the Falcons trying to make some money, and he and Selina ended up banking out. We now get the follow-up where Bruce is in jail and his bail keeps rising, so his friends can't get him out. Falcon's men repeatedly bite him, and I assume this is why his bail is rising. Waylon Leland comes to try to comfort Bruce and tells him the friend group is trying to find the money to get him out. But then we go back to the present day, and Batman, Alfred, and Harley are in their Bat base of operations. They watch Jack Grimm on the news and note his charm offensive, as Alfred calls it, donating money to large amounts of programs and bathing in the city's love for him. At this time, Batman receives a call. Through an untraceable phone line, Harley is rigged up that she calls the Bat signal. The phone reads JG, and I almost lost my mind thinking Jack Grimm was calling Batman, but it's just Jim Gordon. And Batman tells him he can meet Gordon immediately. I love this moment where Harley responds with, "We're all going to jail, aren't we?" And Alfred responds, "Probably." Jim and Batman meet on a rooftop, and as Batman approaches, Gordon raises his gun, and you can tell he is on edge like crazy. He apologizes and compliments Batman, saying he moves fast for a man his size. I really like his next line where he's like, "I'll have to get used to this, won't I? If we're gonna make meeting like this a thing," alluding to them forming the bond that would be the classic Batman and Gordon vigilante and cop relationship. But things take a rapid turn when you realize how scared Gordon is. He keeps giving signs of paranoia and finally reveals the reason for their meeting: a set of files. Files that apparently contain secrets of the past that lead all the way to the present, to them standing there in this moment. As he hands over the files, regret floods over him and he tries to set them on fire. In that moment, he sets his own arm on fire. Batman tries to calm him down, but he goes on about the deeper he gets, the more frightening it is. He began looking deeper into things when Martha left on her trip that led to her death with the Court of Owls, which I don't think these guys know about. And he apparently dug too far. Now he just feels as though he's lost in a cornfield and he can't see over the crops. Batman picks up the files and we only get to see a few words from them. The folder is titled Project Batman, and the only words that we can make out on the paper is "the zoo were," and then the word manipulated or manipulates kind of lies underneath. Batman yells out, "What the fuck is this?" And Gordon, who starts getting swarmed by crows, says, "I'm sorry, Bruce, for everything, but most of all, what you're about to find out." And then the unthinkable happens, and Gordon jumps off the roof of this building. Batman uses his cape to grab Gordon's jacket, but as he looks over the edge, Gordon had slipped out of it and fallen to his death. People on the ground level look up to see Batman, and that's where the new city narrative begins. Batman killed the potential soon-to-be Mayor Gordon. Batman looks across the street in a window and sees Scarecrow staring at him. I thought this was so heartbreaking, and I knew when they introduced the bat signal in a non-traditional way, but then had Gordon and Batman meet on a rooftop in a traditional sense, that something was off. We go to another flashback. Falcone bails Bruce out of jail and he notes the money he and Selina took from him. Gordon catches him walking out, however, and begs him not to go with Falcone, but to come with him instead. He offers help and a shoulder to lean on. Bruce instead gets in the car to go work for Falcone to pay off his debt so that nothing bad happens to Selina. And I almost bet this will be some of the plot that we're following in Absolute Catwoman. Back to the present day, we see a couple things going on. Bruce mourns the loss of Gordon and blames himself, but Alfred comforts him. Barbara Gordon also grieves in the hospital, and just a tremendous, horrendous situation. And Mayor Hill announces to Gotham City that Batman killed Jim Gordon. Then his speech is interrupted by none other than Slade Wilson, in what looks like a military getup with a green Robin logo on it. He gives a speech. "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Slade Wilson. Now you don't know me, but what I know about you, about the people of this city, is that you're tough. You're unafraid because Gotham tests you more than any other city on Earth. Still, every single day you pick yourself up, you put yourself together, one step at a time, and you go out there and face Gotham head on. For too long you haven't had real help. That changes today. No more darkness, no more creature of the night terrorizing your streets. From now on, let Gotham's symbol be a messenger of morning. With that, I present to you the Robin program." The speech then works to charm you with "Who do you know?" Jack Grimm. Slade tells everyone how he funded the project and fawns over Grimm for taking care of the misfortuned children of Gotham City. He mentions he takes the misunderstood wards of the state, and we see Tim Drake and Stephanie Brown. He takes the ones who have fallen into the city's cracks, and we see Duke Thomas, who seems to be in one of the mech suits. He even helped the ones who have turned to crime, and then it shows Jason Todd. We also get a little moment where he refers to Dick Grayson as captain, and you can think maybe because he was an EMT and he has some of this first responder service already that he's probably in charge of these guys. Then it is revealed that at the speech, the new Robins will be getting their new suits, which we will see next issue, and Slade reveals that he has trained this bunch himself. Finally, he wages war on Batman and the issue ends. It was so awesome to finally see how the Robins will play into this story. I was really struggling to figure out how they would bring all the Robins in at one time, but having them raised by Joker and trained by Deathstroke is absolutely insane. And just a side note, I really liked the little Robin jumpsuits they were all wearing, and I'm pretty sure we can already see the new Robin suit on one of the covers of Absolute Batman 20. But let's circle back to one thing from earlier that is left pretty open. What was in the Project Batman files? I think the most clear thing that it points to is his father's murder at the zoo being a setup. But was it a setup to push Bruce into being Batman? That's my running theory. Let me know what you think. And now that we're at the end of the video, I'll tell you how to join that giveaway for the graphic novel. Like I said, if this video makes a push for 1,000 subscribers, I'll give away an issue of Absolute Batman signed by Scott Snyder as well. I'll go get one for the winner when I go get some books signed by the GOAT. So what you need to do is subscribe to the channel. Once you're done, head to the comment section and comment your favorite Batman comic. It can be a single issue or a trade. I'll even accept multiple entries if you comment on multiple videos, so go crazy. And for my final act, I'll circle back to one more thing I said earlier in the video. When Bruce met with Croc, they talked about the artifact he had retrieved with Wonder Woman. This is the artifact that's saving Waylon. I covered that full crossover story, so if you want a refresher on that, or if you missed it, go check out my breakdown on that. I know some people miss part of the crossover because they didn't get the Wonder Woman book, they only got the Batman book. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.